good.
And then
then
we all were getting nervous because it was almost time for our open mic, which Vanessa had been talking up probably ever since you knew you were coming to camp.
Yeah, and I have done, I had been walking around kind of all day, or even the day before, listing everyone. At first I asked, are you going to play? But the more I was going into, what are you going to play?
she was walking around with her iPad,
Yeah.
and, kind of making a list of like the order people would play in or whatever.
And I wrote down all the songs as well, not to call them out, but more to see. And there was no duplicate song at all.
Yeah.
So everyone picked another song, and a few had to twist their arms, and that helps.
Yeah.
It did help.
No one was forced. I mean, there was a lot of encouragement going on. Not and I think almost everybody did it, and I think they were glad they did.
It was an impressive list.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like 26 or 28 or so by the time.
I was so proud of. I think 28, 29,
Maybe.
28, something like that.
Oh, we saved the list.
Okay.
By the way,
Good.
It's one of those things. Nani took it off the wall, and I said, "What are you doing with that?" And she was tucking it in a box of stuff to go home. I said,
"Yeah,
that's it."
She's gonna make a scrapbook.
Yeah. That's a souvenir of memento. That we gotta have.
Right.
So
I mentioned it at the end of the evening as well. I was just so proud of everyone because many of them really stepped out of their comfort zones.
Yes.
For many of them, but just maybe like 3 who had done it before, but most of them, and they all did great, and they all handled it great.
Yes.
Because some indeed were kind of a bit of a struggling, and then they just laughed it off or put a little humor into it, talked to us, and then it's fine.
It is, and I really want to say I'm so proud of Dan
Wrench.
He had a little trouble, when he first got up there, and it's a song he knows he can play, and nerves and adrenaline get going, and it's hard to control your fingers, and he got through most of it, and went and sat back down, and I went back to just sort of commiserate a little because I knew he'd be feeling down, and he said, if I could go up there again, I'd just play it, and he did.
Yep.
He
got a second
Lynn
chance.
filled me in on it.
Oh, Dan,
I just squeezed him in.
did tell her. I'm sorry,
Right.
but I knew he would be successful.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was great, and I think he felt really great.
Yeah.
It was anyone who did it. I know I came out of there just feeling like, I'd gotten so much out of that experience, and I felt like I had reached a new level, which is what I wanted to do here at this camp.
Absolutely.
And doing that really helped me get that feeling.
And also Sandy, who actually had declined and said, no, next year.
Right.
So I was
She was
like,
gonna
well,
need a year of courage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but then Neil got her to perform
was-
anyway. She pulled it off so
She
endearing.
did, and I'm going to
It
learn
was-
that song.
It was so, it was just great.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to talk to her about it, to just kind of edge her a little bit into it, I think it was before, I talked to her, before I asked you to go talk to her, didn't I, or not? Okay.
Yeah, you were talking to her, and I think I walked by or something.
Okay, because, I think she told me this afterwards, but she was clearly leaning towards doing it.
Yeah.
And, but later she told me that, oh, that's right, because it was when she was leaving. She said, I know I was going to be too terrified, and I was not going to be able to do anything. She said, but then I saw how terrified everybody else was.
Yeah.
And they were getting through it, and they were messing it up, but
Yeah.
they were getting through it. And she said, and she was starting to think that, well, I might be able to do this.
Yeah. And I want to be part of the group as well.
Right.
And so this was all just in her own head. And then when I came over to try to, to just tell her that, we got room. We got till 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
We actually had till 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
of course.
So it wasn't going to matter.
Right.
But it ended up taking about 3 hours. We got through almost 30
with intermission
people.
and all from 8
Oh, that's
to
right.
11.
We gave them about a 15, 20 minute break.
Yeah.
Right, because no one wanted to leave and miss anyone, so we needed to have an intermission there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we'd also promised her if she played I told her I would play along with her if she wanted, because you helped out
Paul Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a Decemberist tune.
song. Yeah.
Right. And because he wasn't going to sing it.
Right.
But he loved the song.
Yeah.
And I think so. He obviously asked you if you would.
Well, yeah, I had
Or offered, or-
said to a few people, several people, as in, you want to help? Do I need to play along? I can sing or whatever you want. And he was like, yeah, that might work.
Yeah, and that was a cool way to get up
Yeah.
there, you know, and I think we can incorporate that a little next time. Is, you know, people have now met each other, played together. That's an option
Yeah.
too.
And
Right.
he did very well.
And we
Yeah.
could have a more formal little set of practiced collaborations or something.
Yes,
You know, give people
yes.
time to maybe work on some duets
Yeah,
or some
yeah,
parts parts together.
Yeah,
And
that would be cool too.
Yeah, or maybe we
Absolutely.
just have 2 or 3 a night if
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of things we can
Yeah,
do
sure.
for next year.
Yeah.
We'll let you know the dates very soon.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So the open mic was an absolute highlight
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
personally, but I think for
Yeah.
lots of the others as well.
Yeah.
And
then, go ahead.
I was going to say, I forgot, you know, we're not mentioning Matt here. Matt was there the first night, and he was there the last
Opening and
morning.
closing ceremonies.
Yes, he was. And he's a huge part of this, obviously.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he was he's fun to have around, you know,
Yeah.
and boy did he get put on the spot
Oh, he did.
at the close.
Oh.
And anyway, the end.
Well, he's very good at that too.
Yeah.
Putting someone else on the spot.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it was payback time.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but also the one last thing kind of that was very nice about not the last thing, because I'll probably remember something else, but about the open mic was Vanessa closing the show
Oh,
with a couple of
oh,
great tunes.
yeah.
And I don't know if you had planned on playing at all or not, or had you? I mean, did you figure you would play that night?
Firstly, I was kind of like you. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to play. I'll
Yeah.
decide at the last minute. And I was like, if the list is really long, then, you know, I just let it be. But you kind of several times said in between, and then you play. And then you play.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, well, okay, why not? I like to play, of
Yeah,
course.
sure.
And it was actually very, very nice to. Well, you go ahead. You were saying.
No, because I more
okay,
want to hear
okay.
what you thought about it.
Yeah. So, and what I told the audience at that point is that usually I play crowd pleasers.
Right.
That I'm sure they're going to like this one or that
Margaritaville
one.
or
Yeah.
Whatever,
Or
you
something
know.
that we've heard you play,
Yeah,
you know,
something
already.
like that.
Yeah.
And that's not because that I don't like. I like it when the audience likes it. When I see they're having a good time, then I have a good time too.
Right.
So, but it's of course nice to play something that I really love. And
Yeah.
and indeed, what I really love is I think it's probably my favorite Crosby, Stills, Nash song, Triad,
Yeah.
which is such a obscure song,
Right.
such a haunting song. I would never play that anywhere else.
Yeah. Right.
So I was like, if I'm going to play it anywhere,
This is
then
the
I
time.
should do it
Yeah.
now. There are probably a bunch of people who know the album, who know
I saw
the
people
song.
just in, you know, just
kind of
Yeah.
so into
Floating away
it.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hadn't played it for a while, so it was also like a bit of free form singing,
You
and then
know-
I thought, well, David Crosby does that too.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
perfect because you could see you were putting it back together. By the second verse, you remembered what you couldn't quite come up with in the first verse, and the ability to not get rattled by that kind of thing. And the song goes on.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I remember noticing when you didn't play that little lick when you sing "What can we do?"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the song sounded great without it.
It did.
It's like that was a really good idea leaving that out.
Yeah.
And I know it was unintentional,
Yeah.
but it was it was like an unintentional
Yeah.
shift. It's not it's not a mistake. I mean
No.
it absolutely could have
Yeah.
been looked at as an interpretive thing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it was-
actually, I had thought before, because I knew I hadn't practiced or
Yeah.
just went over the song before, that I thought when this lick comes and I forget to look at my hand or whatever, and I was like, I need to go with that finger.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I paid attention to it too late. And I thought before, then I just leave it out. Whatever. And indeed, the first time I was like, oh, it did kind of sound empty to me. So it's good to hear that it
No,
still
it
sounded
absolutely works.
sounded
Yeah.
good. And later I thought, okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
So that was, and indeed it was really quiet, and I could see everyone indeed
Yeah.
listening to
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
Because that's always what you want. If people are not listening, then you're like, what am
Yeah.
I doing here with this song?
Right.
And then I actually broke the rule because I told everyone to pick one song.
Right. But
I was the only one who played two songs.
actually somebody else did. Remember played a little romanza? Paul, the other Paul. Or
Yeah,
Paul
that's
from Santa
true. Yeah,
Paul from
okay,
Santa Clara.
okay. Yeah.
But they're
And then I just played. I thought Summer of '69. Let's
Oh,
end
that
with a
was
bit
it.
of
that was great,
a
and
fun
because you did
song.
want to leave it on a upbeat note, and
Yeah, indeed.
and that reminded me of what John had done with Rock This Town.
Oh,
That was great.
yeah,
It was
that was
fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
He got me dancing.
yeah, we got that on video.
I think it's-
Karina was right next to you with the camera, and you know, she missed the pirouette, but she got which I saw. You know, I thought, man, she is
Yeah.
rocking out herself. The town is rocked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he pulled
so-
that off
He
really
did.
great.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I had so much fun. Oh, and GMC, he totally cracked me up
Oh.
with his competition entry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He-
one thing, let me set that up for one thing, because something that Al said was a really important thing in songwriting was use language that people don't, use words, use uncommon words. And so and many of his songs, in one song he told me once that, or maybe it was an interview, I forget where this was, but in one song he always wanted to work in the word cormorant. You know what this is.
Yeah, it's a
What is
bird.
that?
It's
Yeah,
a sea
a
bird.
bird.
It's a bird.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the word is so odd, a cormorant.
But it has a nice cormorant.
Right.
You can imagine singing that.
And he said, and he just couldn't do it. He couldn't figure out how to get cormorant in a song. And he's got this song called Red Toupee that is a goofy song. And as it's fading out, so ends up not being part of the lyrics. I'd have to go listen to it again to get it really clear, because it's not part of the lyrics, but it just sort of thrown in. It's a goofy song, and at the end you hear him yell out, "Oh my God, a cormorant just flew by."
He did it.
Yeah.
Is there one on the poster? Let's see if there's a cormorant on the poster.
Oh.
Finally.
There's a biplane
Yeah.
from
There
the
might be
Amy
some.
Johnson
Yeah.
song.
Who knows?
There's a hippo.
There's a
He has a
hippo.
song called Hippo Song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
So anyway, he had thrown out a few words that were very unusual, and
Yes.
so back to the Jim C story. He wrote a song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
About
It was
TG and
about totally
how to-
guitars,
Right.
and some of the things that Neil says to us over and over again.
in the
And
lessons.
this was for a contest that happened a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I think he had this song,
Right.
3 verses, and then based on what happened at camp and what
He
we
said
learned
maybe
at
I'll make
camp.
up a 4th verse. Was
Yeah.
kind of the thing, because he'd seen Al make
Right.
up this song about the sharp 11 chord.
Yeah.
Yes.
The add sharp 11.
So
Right.
he's saying about everything that we hear from Neil in his lessons all the time about the hand, don't stop moving,
Yeah, the hand
and
never stopped. Right?
and that's
And the
so
lyrics were hilarious right
They
there, because
were
it became,
hilarious.
don't stop, don't stop,
don't stop.
Jim, stop! We've had enough.
I totally cracked up.
And his delivery was just spot
Fantastic.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he fit in the 11 major.
Yes, he mentioned the add sharp 11
Add sharp
thing.
11 and Tyrannosaurus was
No,
in there.
pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl.
Because that was a word that Al put out as, like, for instance, use a word like pterodactyl in your song. And so Jim, in the verse he improvised,
It was
Worked in
fantastic.
pterodactyl.
Absolutely.
It was fun. So we saw in the performances, we saw all different types of performances.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It ran the gamut. So everybody did something.
Yeah.
It was great.
I had such a great night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was a really good for our last night together.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
think
a
that was-
highlight.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got into the what did you call it?
The
Scrum.
The guitar scrum happened again. That's the late
man.
night.
There is footage. I have shot
Yeah.
a little of that.
There's some pictures. I think there's a picture on Facebook, on the Totally Guitars Facebook, of one of the scrums.
yeah.
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 Just it was like 10 at one point 12 guitar. I had no desire to play the guitar. I was
Yeah.
just singing
Yeah.
here and there, and
Right.
that was great.
The night that I came in, and there was the first night, Friday night after the show, and there was the first scrum,
Yeah.
in there that I'd seen. It was pretty much led by John and Jeff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And there were about 6 or 7 other people around, because they knew the song they were playing. They were playing
Yeah.
Truckin' first of all, and just belting it out. The Grateful
Yeah.
Dead tune. I wish I'd
Yeah.
gotten the video on that one, but
Yeah.
it took me, I had to run back to the car anyway to get it. And then they kind of went through the Aqualung catalog. They started doing
Oh,
songs
gosh,
off
really?
Aqualung.
Darn, I
You know?
missed that.
Yeah.
Darn it.
And so that was just
Yeah.
tickled my heart. Kind
Yeah.
Oh,
of,
yeah.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
Here these guys are
Yeah.
who are very smooth performers,
Yeah.
you know, and so these two had it down,
Yeah.
and a few of the other people around them too, and a few others are just like Paul was there, you know, doing the best he could to try to pick up a few chords and stuff. That actually the other Paul was there too, Paul Francis, I think, there, I think.
Yeah, and it was great practice for that because you couldn't mess anyone else.
Yeah.
If you didn't know the chords, you're just watching someone, you're doing the
Yeah,
chords,
yeah, exactly.
and you are learning on the fly, and that's
Yeah.
very good experience.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
in this scrum, after the open mic one, what I forget my point. Kind of the same that you were talking
Yeah,
about.
just that everybody was in there, and it just didn't matter.
Yeah,
It was
and you
so
needed
comfortable.
indeed a few guys. John was one of them, and I supported in a couple as well. Just keep singing,
Right.
so that they know where are we in
Yeah.
the song, and then
Yeah.
they were looking at this device or
Yes.
to each other. Oh yeah, and then
Yeah.
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 it kept going. That was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, there was lots of, you know, before breakfast there was lots of little groups getting together, people playing, sharing music. That was just neat.
Yeah, that
It was,
really
you know,
neat.
I know we all came hoping to get to do that.
Yeah.
And it
So that
happened.
got late. Well, we turned in earlier than the ones who.
Yeah, we went to bed at 2:15.
Oh, you were on the 2 o'clock shift,
Yeah,
huh?
we
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Jeez.
So wow. Yeah, that was a night.
And then everybody got to sleep in till 8 on Sunday.
Yeah,
Or so.
we had
I
a
had
kinda
the coffee
an
going
hour
at
more.
5:30.
Yeah, the breakfast was at 9
Yeah,
instead
we
of
just
8.
moved breakfast back
So
on
that
Sunday.
was-
We figured that would be
right, because everyone
nobody's
would
gonna
want to
complain,
sleep in.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
That was good.
Yeah, and then we just kind of had Matt and I got back up there again, like we
Yeah.
had started, and that was kind of just again, like I really had no idea what we were going to do that morning.
Yeah.
But I figured that we should kind of address the crowd, just have again a little
Yeah.
meeting, and you know,
Just talk it through.
evaluate
Yeah.
some things,
Yeah.
and just I don't know.
Yeah, that was
kind
nice.
of
Yeah, yeah.
bring it to some sort of official close, which was probably the hardest thing to do, is say, okay,
Yeah, say that it's
This was
over,
it.
pull the plug. Although
Right.
we have a very cute video of the plug getting pulled.
Yeah, really?
Really?
Because I had to.
Oh, you were out. You were out. Yeah, you were
for
out
the
to run
guitar.
the band.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, of Matt running off with the guitar.
Oh, and then you got unplugged.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
yeah,
had that
yeah.
too once in a performance when I was
Wow.
14. I walked away.
Yeah.
I did it like 2 times, I think. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
we'll see it on
there
video
were,
later.
But there were no disasters. No guitars were broken in,
No,
the, in the
indeed.
making of
Only
this
a
camp.
chair was broken.
One
Only
chair,
a chair.
and it really wasn't anyone's
Right.
fault.
It was gonna break
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
on its own.
Yeah.
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 So that
So
was.
yeah,
Very
that was
successful
it.
that way.
Well, ladies,
Yeah.
we should probably wrap this up. I
Yeah.
expected this to be about 10 minutes. I'm sure it's been about an hour.
I think so too.
But
Once you get talking about such a weekend,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and we're all looking forward to it next year, and I hope people will more people will be able to join us.
yeah, we
Yeah.
should be able to have plans out much earlier this time. You know,
Cool.
maybe even within like a month
Great.
or
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, that
but
would be great.
I really like this time of year
Yeah.
for it. You know, it's
Yeah, I think this was
weather-wise,
perfect.
everything else, right here at the
Yeah.
equinox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's the first day. No, yesterday was
First day of fall.
first day of fall.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
autumn,
Right.
autumn is here.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it gives people again a chance to do their summer the way they wanted to or
Right.
something, and then make this kind of a separate thing. So I think we'll look at that
Yeah.
Yeah.
for next year or two.
Good.
A lot of things though we got to figure out.
Yeah.
What we might do differently and what we might do the same, and what we should never think about doing again.
I think there was much of that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so
Pretty
either.
good.
Yeah,
Pretty
we're
good
hoping we'll get
plan,
good
well
evaluations. I mean,
executed.
good
Yeah.
meaning useful ones from
Yeah.
everybody. And
Right.
we really, like as Matt pointed out as we were wrapping it up, you know, we really need to hear things that you maybe felt
Yeah.
let down on or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And
We
just
need brutal
from all-
honesty.
right, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully everybody will be, and I
We'll
hope
do
some
that.
of those people that have never been on the forum might
Join in
a
now.
little bit.
Yeah, that would be
Right.
cool. Absolutely.
Because at least half the people there were people that had rarely and many never
Yeah.
posted or even looked at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really neat to me. I mean, it was odd to me to find out that we had a Target member that lives like around the corner,
Oh my
and used to
goodness.
take lessons at my store from another teacher there.
Oh right.
You know, and I just didn't know him. He must have come in on a day that I wasn't there
Yeah.
or something, because I
Wow.
don't think I'd ever seen him before. And he's, you know, been part of the silent majority at TG since
Yeah.
like the early days. You
Yeah.
know, I think the first night Matt asked how many people had been there on our first TG Live thing, which was this 5.5 hour
Broadcast.
yeah, you know, as you can tell, Matt and I can go on for a
Yeah,
while
you
with,
can.
with all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we opened up TG in the end of April 2009 with a Ustream
Wow.
thing, and I think there were a few people there at
Who
camp
had-
that had been there long.
Yeah.
Another thing that was really neat to me was most. I'd have to check with everybody, but no, Jim C has been some. You know, very few of these people had ever been to any kind of music camp.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
for a lot of people,
Right.
at least
Yeah.
60 or 70% of them,
Sure.
this is like the first thing they've ever done like
Yeah,
this. Whereas
right.
there are people that have been that go to a lot of them. So
Yeah,
you know,
right.
it's kind of like we brought people out of the woodwork
Yeah.
because of the community
Yeah.
and stuff.
I think
you know?
I think having that community going in made it so much less intimidating.
Yeah.
I knew there were people. I had seen people play, and I felt comfortable, and they had seen me play, and I thought, yeah, it'll be all right, and it was. Good community. The community feeling we have on the forum just sort of grew.
Yeah, that's
Right.
Yeah.
we quite had the same thing going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Sandy was leaving, you know, we talked for a few minutes, and she said she was kind of. There was a little intimidation kind of thing in her head, you know, being one of only 3 women there.
Yeah.
And then she says, of course, then it turned out there was Ann and Karina and Nani was there all the time. She said
Yeah.
there was actually.
Yeah, we didn't feel like, you know, just
Right, it's us against them.
Eventually,
No.
there were more women than we
No.
thought there
Yeah.
would be.
It,
Yeah,
it was,
true.
it was really comfortable,
You
and
know.
you know,
Jeff's wife and his
Yes,
wife were
right.
at
Yeah,
certain
we
moments
started being there a little
Sure.
bit more, you know.
Yeah.
So that was
And
good.
then, and she said, but like before she even finished that sentence, she said, well, first of all, you know, the girls, we had a great time, you know. And then
Yeah.
she said, and every one of the guys I really liked. It's like
Yeah.
there was nobody here that I thought, ew, kind of creepy or,
Yeah.
whatever.
No,
It's
there
like
were
there
a
were.
lot
Yeah.
of nice people.
Very
Yeah.
Really
sweet
nice
and
people.
kind and
Yeah.
absolutely true.
Yeah, so she was just raving about
Yeah.
personalities and everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things like
Yeah.
that. So it's kind of neat that's the crowd that
Yeah.
assembled for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
sort of,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And the 3 of us had a blast.
Oh, we did. We did. Yes.
Well, when we went to bed, it was like we talked for.
We still didn't go
I was
to bed.
I was standing all the time, as in I'm going to take a shower. We just blah blah. blah.
Never happened.
Yeah.
I'm really going to take a shower now. Otherwise, we know we're not going
Yeah.
to bed
Yeah.
here.
It was really neat.
When I came in towards the end,
Yeah.
it was with you. You were showing us your room,
Yeah.
and you know, these rooms had 2 platform beds, and then somebody had to sleep on the floor.
On a mattress.
On a mattress on the floor.
Yeah.
So it's virtually the same, except
Right.
you're down on the ground. You
Right.
know, and I guess you
And-
told me.
Yeah, well, I had walked in and I thought, okay, I'll take that bunk over there. You know, just the small platform bed. There was like a full size.
A double-sized
platform.
one in that one, yeah.
Yeah.
A full,
So I
yeah.
plunked down my stuff there, and Sandy comes in and she takes the floor, and I'm like, Sandy, take the bed, and we couldn't get her to do it, and she was just so like.
I
"No,
twisted
cool
her.
on the floor."
That's where our arm twisted.
Yeah.
I even wanted to toss her. I threw in everything to get her on that, but
No, she
Right.
she wouldn't.
Yeah.
I've been
she's a
backpacking
camper
for
from
20
way back.
years.
Yes.
I feel comfortable
Yeah,
on
she's
the.
a horse lady. I mean, she's,
Yeah.
you know, she's
Right.
So I indeed had the. had the
So you got the double
advantage.
bed. But
Yes.
that was okay because you already told us
It
when
worked.
you came here. It's like, oh, I'm all over the place. I'm, you know, or something. I didn't need the room. You know,
It
so
does,
It worked out
uh,
great. I mean, it
yeah.
sounded like, and
I do sleep better. And
Yeah.
for such a thing, it's nice when you get
Yeah.
some sleep.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, but it was kind
So
of.
that worked out as well.
Yeah, she was happy on the floor. So.
So it just was fun. Gosh,
Yeah.
great weekend.
Well, I'm so glad you guys could be there and everybody else.
Oh,
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
and you know, I just left feeling like $1 million.
Yeah,
Yep,
You know,
yeah.
me
it
too.
was- I don't know what $1 million would feel like. Actually. But you know, just very proud and happy
Yeah.
of everybody there,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was just really unbelievable. More
Yeah.
than we could have, you know, more than I ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
Right, better than we hoped.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so. Well,
Okay.
thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Let's,
Thank you.
It's great.
Enough for today.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
who
well,
knows. Sandy will be
I hope
back.
you've bared with us.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow I can get Sandy's review. I think she's
Yeah.
coming in for a lesson.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is she
great.
coming up for a lesson tomorrow?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, because
okay.
we wanted to meet up, but she lives
Oh,
way down.
She lives
and
an hour away.
Yeah, so, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right. We'll catch up
All
on
right.
that
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
off
Absolutely.
camera.
Sorry.
Indeed.
Okay. Enjoy
Let's
the rest
wrap
of your
it up.
day. I know we've taken up a lot of it.